I said no.
Relax.
I said no.
Relax.
Stop. Stop, Kurt. Stop, Kurt. Stop. Stop.
The best way to learn English and be entertained at the same time is by watching movies. Did you understand what you just saw? You're going to see the video clip again, but this time you are going to see subtitles. Let's take a peep.
I said no.
Relax.
I said no.
Relax.
Stop. Stop, Kurt. Stop, Kurt. Stop. Stop.
Stop. Stop it. Do you know what this means? Let's look at it. Stop it is used to tell someone to cease from doing their current action, often because it is annoying, harmful, or inappropriate. For example, stop it. You're being too loud, and I'm trying to study. The tone can vary from a gentle request to a firm command, depending on the context and the speaker's intention. This phrase is widely used in everyday English conversation to quickly and effectively halt an ongoing action. When you listen to native speakers and repeat what they are saying, you are training your ears and your mouth to work together, as well as your brain to remember what to say. Listen and repeat.
Get up! Get up!
Get up. Let's look at it. Get up is a phrasal verb that means to rise from a sitting, lying, or reclining position, especially after sleeping. It can also mean to stand up or to ascend from a lower position to a higher one. For example, I get up early every morning. This means to rise from bed after sleeping. Example number 2. He was so nervous, but he managed to get up and give his speech. This means to stand up. This phrase is widely used in English and can fit into many different contexts. For example, your morning routine. Listen and repeat.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up!
Good.
Oh, what are you doing?
Call your brother and tell him to come get his stuff. I've had enough. He's got to go. He didn't come home last night.
Come get his stuff. Let's look at the explanation. Come get his stuff is an informal phrase and is used to instruct or request someone to retrieve their belongings from a particular place. For example, after the argument, she told him to come get his stuff. The phrase can vary in tone from neutral to assertive or even confrontational, depending on the context. This phrase is common in everyday speech, especially in informal contexts where personal items need to be collected by the owner, typically after a conflict or after a temporary stay. Listen and repeat.
Oh, what are you doing?
Call your brother and tell him to come get his stuff.
Oh, what are you doing?
Call your brother and tell him to come get his stuff.
Oh, what are you doing?
Call your brother and tell him to come get his stuff.
Very good. Have had enough. Let's look at it. Have had enough is used to indicate that a person is no longer willing to tolerate a situation, a behavior, or an activity. It signifies reaching a limit of patience, endurance, or acceptance. The word tolerate means allow. So the person is not willing to allow any more of that behavior. For example, during the heated argument, Sarah shouted, "I've had enough. I'm leaving," and stormed out of the room. The tone can range from frustration to assertiveness depending on the context. The phrase is widely used and understood in English-speaking cultures and is frequently used to express the end of one's patience. Listen and repeat.
I've had enough, I've had enough, I've had enough.
Wonderful. He's got to go. Let's look at the explanation. He's got to go is used to indicate that someone needs to leave a place or situation, often due to their behavior or because their presence is no longer welcome. For example, after repeatedly missing deadlines and causing issues with the team, the manager decided he's got to go. Tone. The tone is often decisive and can be either neutral or negative, depending on the context. This phrase is commonly used in English to assert that a person should leave immediately. Listen and repeat.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. And then I find this.
Where was it?
Right here in his room. Did you know, Kalani?
No, Ma.
Tell him I'm flushing it down the toilet. I won't have this in my house.
I'm flushing it. What does it mean to flush it? Let's look at it. I'm flushing it is used to indicate that someone is disposing of something by flushing it down the toilet. For example, this milk has gone bad. I'm flushing it before it stinks up the kitchen. It is commonly used in context involving disposal of waste or unwanted items, both literally and figuratively. This phrase is commonly understood and used in everyday conversation to describe the action of flushing something down the toilet, or metaphorically, to mean getting rid of something entirely. Listen and repeat.
Tell him I'm flushing it down the toilet. 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 I won't have this in my house.
I won't have this. I won't have this. Let's look at it. I won't have this is an assertive expression used to indicate that someone refuses to accept or tolerate a particular situation, behavior, or condition. For example, I won't have this kind of disrespect in my house. You need to apologize immediately. The tone is usually firm, reflecting the speaker's strong disapproval and determination. The phrase is effective in establishing clear limits and communicating a zero-tolerance policy towards specific actions. Will not is contracted to won't. Listen and repeat.
I won't have this in my house. I won't have this in my house. I won't have this in my house. I won't have this in my house.
Mom, please stop.
It was call your brother and tell him to come get his stuff, otherwise he'll be picking it up off the curb. I want him out.
Picking up off the curb. What does this mean? It is an informal phrase that typically refers to the act of taking items that have been left out on the side of the road. For example, I got this amazing bookshelf by picking it up off the curb. Someone was throwing it away, but it's in great condition. The phrase is commonly used in contexts where people repurpose or salvage items that others have disposed. Listen and repeat.
We picking it up off the curb. 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 I want him out.
I want him out. Let's look at this one. This is a direct and forceful expression used to indicate a desire for someone to leave a particular place or situation. It often conveys a scene of urgency and frustration, suggesting that the person's presence is no longer welcome or acceptable. For example, after discovering that her roommate had been consistently failing to pay his share of the rent, she finally confronted him and said, "I want you out by the end of the week." This phrase is commonly used in English to assert that a person should leave. Listen and repeat.
I want him out. I want him out. I want him out. I want him out. I want him out.
Let's look at this exciting one.
Bianca, hurry up.
Calm down, Ma. Your pressure.
You need to do what I told you to do. Get Jacob on the phone. That's what you need to do.
Ma. Ma.
Kalani, get out of my way.
Let's look at the explanation. Get out of my way is a forceful and imperative expression used to tell someone to move aside, allowing the speaker to pass or proceed without obstruction. It often conveys urgency, impatience, or frustration. For example, rushing to catch the bus, Emily pushed through the crowded sidewalk, shouting, "Get out of my way." This phrase is commonly used in a situation where the speaker is in a hurry, frustrated, or urgently need to proceed. It is a direct and impolite way to ask someone to move aside. Now let's listen and repeat.
Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Get out of my way.
Did you enjoy this video? Well, if you want to watch the entire video, the link is in the description below. If you would like to see more videos like this, then you need to subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, then of course you need to leave a like and share it with your friends. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which is on your screen, by the way.